No, maybe the like monster truck one he had was good too.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I think they're gonna race at the end. They're gonna be in the Charger racing. I think that's
Do
it.
you think they're going to be playing chicken with a cliff or something, and neither one's going to want to lose, but then clearly John Cena is going to lose because this is Vin Diesel we're talking about. Vin Diesel puts his hand out and brings him into his car.
And nothing in his shoulder gets torn. His rotator
No,
cuff stays perfectly intact.
yeah. And then John Cena looks at him crying. He says, "Why would you save me?" And he just says, "La familia."
Yeah. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
In Hobbs and Shaw,
Here we go.
when Dwayne Johnson's holding the helicopter to the truck, in real life,
Yes.
would he have ripped in half?
Um.
Or would his arms been completely separated from his body?
So in real life, Mark, he would have died 45 minutes earlier in that movie.
Yeah, he would have died in Fast Five.
He wouldn't, because he couldn't have got into Jason Statham's car. The McLaren was too small for The Rock to get into.
Yeah, he's too big. Yeah, you're right. Or he would have broke both his legs trying to do that escape thing in Fate of the Furious when he slid down 30 feet and landed perfectly.
He would have, yeah. So we can't get into like would it have torn him in half because, like, here's the thing: Captain America did the same gimmick in Winter Soldier,
He's just got the serum.
or
Though.
sorry, in Civil War. But you're like, but he's Captain America, so this kind of makes sense. The Rock isn't, but he's stronger than that.
Yeah, like rubber bullets don't hurt him.
No,
Now,
they don't.
I have a question. When you see the baby in Fast 9, I don't like it because they brought back Elena in the Fate of the Furious.
Yeah,
She has been all right. So in 5, right, she's the only good cop in the entire world. Like she's just a
right.
good cop. In 6, she's like, Dom, go do your thing. You got to go get Letty. In 7, she's getting promotions, working her way up through the chain of command, right? She is a successful soldier who has gotten there on like a cop on her own. This great, I don't know, this really cool, successful, strong character. But then in 8, she
Right.
gets kidnapped, and they're like, crap, like he had a baby with her, but he's with Letty. Like we can't just keep her around, so let's just shoot her in the head. Like that's the one thing that I thought that's why Fate's not one of my favorites. It's because
No,
they just killed her.
Fate felt weird.
Yeah, I would say that.
Brian wasn't there. There was like consequences for like the relationship stuff. See, it was the weirdest of them. And again, you're like, but you killed Han. The whole movie, you're like, but you killed Han. But you killed Han. Like that's the kind of thing. So it felt weird, but I think it was a hurdle we needed to get over to continue on.
But seeing this baby now, it's like, doesn't that make you feel a little weird? Because you're like, man, that Elena she was a plot contrivance, right? Is that the word that they?
Well, I don't think she was originally, but in that movie she was.
And they just kind of thought, well, we can't do like a every other weekend thing with Dom Toretto.
No, and there can't be a throuple situation because Letty would kill her.
And so it's just like, let's just shoot her in the head.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just I feel like lazy story writing, I would say.
It's tying up loose ends.
But it felt like a very cruel tie-up to an end for this world.
But when you get involved with the Fast team, this is the kind of stuff that you're signing up for.
Getting murdered in an airplane by a dreadlock, Charlize Theron, and
well, if I come on your podcast, Mark, and you're like, hey, we're going to talk about movies today, I was like, whoa, I didn't sign up for this.
Well, you said that the first time.
Yeah, I was like, Mark, can we talk about like baseball? Like, why do you keep talking about Universal Soldier? Like, what is going on?
You thought we were going to cover Journey songs.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, we'll talk about Universal Soldier, the movie, then like the folk song, and then we'll talk about like, the music industry and where we're going to go to.
The latest in mixing board technology. Yeah,
and so when you get involved with Dom Toretto, this is the kind of stuff that happens.
I guess Letty died, came back. I don't know. It just felt like a cruel. I don't know. It felt a little cruel. So I didn't like that.
Vince died.
Yeah, you're right. Oh yeah.
Actually, I think Dom's except for Letty, the entire original team's gone.
I wish that that one guy lived in Fast and the Furious and they never brought him back.
Yeah.
I kind of feel bad. Well, he might still be alive, living somewhere.
He's going to be the big reveal in Fasten Your Seatbelts.
He's got to come back. Like, you just give him something.
If they're bringing back Earl, they got to bring back that guy.
Like, yeah, exactly. I mean, that guy was a big part in that movie. He was family. I mean,
now, I will say this, and I've said this since I saw the movie the first time. So Brian is there eating his tuna fish sandwich, and then the fast crew all pull up, all like super tough. That guy gets out of the passenger side of Vince's car. Nothing's lamer than being in a car gang where you're riding shotgun in somebody else's ride.
Yeah, that's not fun.
No.
But I mean, I guess if you crashed your car.
But they could all fit in the same car, but they all drove separately, except for that guy, because they wanted to pull up super awesome.
Yeah.
I would like it if they brought back the kid with the Volkswagen and got shot, like if he actually wasn't dead.
Oh, yeah, he just took a gut wound.
Just took a gut wound. He's been on the lam.
He could have been the hacker.
Relocation stuff.
Oh, he could have been one of the hackers because he was good with computers.
Yeah. Imagine he was the villain for Fasten Your Seatbelts. I'm just going to talk about it as if it's a real thing.
He's just been pulling we should just do a fake podcast for it if it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But
we'll rank our Fasten Your Seatbelts story against the real Fast 10.
I like that.
You can't say Fast 10 without the word fasten. It doesn't work.
Now, how awesome was that bridge scene in this? Bridge is going out, and somehow the tires are staying on the thing.
Yeah. Again, it's the whole, like, physics doesn't matter right now kind of situation.
Because it's not our world, right? So this is a world with less gravity and thicker bone density.
Yeah.
And stickier tires.
But the whole time I was like, I think they put that scene in there, and if they didn't, they're stupid, to sell a Hot Wheels set. Like, you imagine a Hot Wheels set where you got to get your car going fast enough to the bridge drops that you can make it across still?
Merchandising.
Right? That's what we need to get to.
And then Han's metabolism. Thoughts?
I have this written down to talk to you about. I want you with your crazy movie logic. If Han constantly eats high saturated fat salty snacks for just the time allotment that happens in the movie. So like Fast 6 takes place over what, like a week or two?
Yeah.
So if he's constantly eating high saturated fat and salty snacks all day, because he's constantly eating them, for 2 weeks, how much weight does he gain?
That's a good question. I should do a thing about his metabolism and how much he should weigh.
Yeah.
And I'll write it in love just to get some promotion out there.
Because I'm doing the like eating clean thing because you want to stay lean and you want to keep looking good. And, I'm going to be 40 next year. So I got to I can't eat like I'm 18 anymore. But Han can.
He's something else, man. I think he's, he is part Jedi.
Yeah. Again, this isn't our world, right? This isn't our world.
I mean, people drink beer in ways that beer should never be consumed in this movie. Yes. He basically turns whenever Vin drinks a beer, he grabs it by the neck, flips it, and it's like a perfect V with his face. So when he puts the beer down, it should explode up in the air.
Well, it reminds me of like a water bottle in a hamster cage when he's drinking it. You know what I mean? When they have like a little ball they gotta lick. I think that's what's going on here. And
yeah, it's just a different world, right? So I think I think you can well, also we've proven that bone density is stronger. So does that mean your body needs more? I think
the average person needs 30,000 calories a day to just maintain in this world.
And also, I think when they eat the chips, yes, there's a lot of saturated fat and everything, but I feel like there's enough. They probably eat a lot of oatmeal to clear all that stuff out of their veins.
That's a lot of carbs, though, bro.
Yeah, but if they need 30,000 calories.
Yeah, that's true.
And I mean, so they eat all the saturated fat, they do a little oatmeal, and then it's just a bunch of chicken for dinner.
Right.
And Corona.
Like if Han was eating almonds, like whenever he's snacking, he's eating almonds, I'd buy that because I'm like, that's a good fat right there. That's not a bad snack at all.
I would not want to hear him eat almonds on screen though. So with chips, you have the initial crunch, and then it gets soft, and it's not too crunchy afterwards. Almonds, if chewed incorrectly, you're crunching for 5-7 seconds. 5 to 7 seconds.
Do you go for the clean split when you eat almond? Try to break it in half first?
There's no art to my eating.
Okay.
There's only art. Maybe when I'm eating Twizzlers, I just eat those things real slow. Cake, I always eat the cake and then I eat the icing.
Yeah, you got to save the icing bit for the last.
Yeah.
You leave a little bit of cake with the icing,
Yeah. And so,
and then you go for it.
but almond eating, I'm just kind of a beast. I just sort of
All right.
consume them.
Yeah, I always crack them in half, almost like a sunflower seed first, because they split like very satisfyingly right in half.
Han does one at a time. Have you
Yep.
ever been in a theater with someone who eats a piece of popcorn one at a time?
No.
Yes, and
No.
they find a way to get the biggest crunch. I think Han's a tasteful chewer though. I wouldn't mind hanging out with him when he's eating.
No, so we're a big popcorn family, actually. That's like our go-to snack. And when I make popcorn, I do it like on the kettle, on the stove. I always make 3 bowls when we make popcorn for 4 people so that we can like flavor some. So one's like natural butter, one's usually salt and vinegar, and one's like a white cheddar and dill mix.
Ooh.
So we do, but last night we had to like sit our kids down and be like, hey, especially my daughter, we're like, just have a little bit of, like, you don't need to have, she's having like 2 handfuls, like just shoving it in her mouth. So popcorn is not something you ever eat one at a time, to the point where we need to police it in our house.
I can see that. Just
yeah.
I mean, I do the grab and shove. I do the grab.
Yep.
I grab it, and I look like John Travolta in Swordfish, the way he smokes cigarettes, like with his palm kind of down. I just shovel. I need to slow down.
What do you think is the best cinematic snack eating moment?
Oh, it's Brad Pitt in Ocean's 11 when he's eating the burger.
I think it's
and I know that because I know how many calories he consumed on screen.
Okay. I think it's Dan Aykroyd in Blues Brothers 2000, where he eats a handful of Doritos.
Just good snacking?
Well, no, he's in a car and he just takes a handful of Doritos and smashes them into his face.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, you got to Google it.
We should start a new podcast series called Random Moments, movies, films, and random moments.
Yeah.
And we just talk about scenes that bother us.
Yeah, Dan Aykroyd, Blues Brothers 2000, Doritos eating. It's out there.
All right, favorite moment from the trailer?
The Fierro moment was good, like really good. The Han reveal was great. My favorite moment, I know what it is, and it's maybe a little bit crazy, and it's why I love the Fast and the Furious movies. It's why I love them. Is Letty gives the baby her cross. And she goes, your daddy gave. She's having this like real intimate moment where she's like, I want to be like a surrogate, like in a foster mom. I want to take you as my child. Your daddy gave me this thing, and I'm going to give it to you to keep you safe for what's coming. And they're like peacefully at a farm. And that's when like the bass drops in the trailer and everything goes crazy. To the fact that like these people's lives is always on borrowed time and they never hide away from that.
Wow. You found some depth.
Yeah, I went for it, bud.
I just like hearing Tyrese say his ass is en fuego.
Yeah, that's a good moment. Like that's the satisfying Peter Rabbit down the hill moment.
I love the Superman punch.
Yeah.
All right, so listen, when she said that John Cena was Dom's brother, it doesn't work, but it works.
Yeah. So, and again, I was coming from a mind where it's like, I was almost like, are they getting him to play Brian? So I was like, what's going on here? And so I think it would have been better if he was Brian's older brother coming back for Dom getting him involved in this world.
Yeah, I like that.
Like my brother was a cop. He had a great career and you sucked him into this.
Whoa. Yeah.
I think that's a better movie.
But it's just, no, it's not weird. It's on brand that we never heard about this brother.
Yeah, their families are. Also, was that not Shaw's mom that was talking to him about family in the car?
Yeah, I like that Helen Mirren's in it because it keeps that area alive.
It keeps the two movies together, right?
And that was his idea to bring in Helen Mirren.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, Dom.
Awesome.
He wanted Judi Dench for Chronicles of Riddick. The guy just loves bringing in unique people.
We got to do the Riddick trilogy as a podcast, Mark.
I'm in.
The whole trilogy.
Well, that was hard.
That was a hard sell. After we do Aquaman, we'll do the Riddick trilogy.
All right. Quick question.
Talk to me.
Which Fast movie is the most about family? Now, I'm going to say 2.
2?
Because of this. Roman and Brian are brothers. They had a big fight. They get back together. Now, also look at the car culture in Miami, how they get each other's backs. At the end, during the massive police chase, all of the, air quotes, family comes out and supports them. And in the end, they barely know Eva Mendes, but they drive off Roman and him drive off a dock to land on a boat to save her. I think it's one of those, I feel like the movie's about family in quotation marks, right? Where you're not talking about your direct family, you're just talking about who's around you. And I think in that one, because Brian isn't really part of it in the other one, everyone's sort of telling him to get away in that. 3, I think, is close to family with Han and, you know, what,